Hello there guys, in this video I'm going to go through how to create a table of values that you can use to plot coordinates that follow rules for more complicated straight line graphs. So let's say we wanted to draw the straight line graph y equals 3x plus 5 by making a table first. Okay, what we're essentially going to do is take some x values, pop them into the equation by substituting and find out what the y value has to be. And for each one, you're going to get a different y value that you're just going to record down here. And then they form pairs. And when you've got a pair of x and y values, you've got yourself a coordinate. My advice with doing this is start with the positives first, because most people are a lot more practiced and a lot more confident multiplying and adding and subtracting with positive numbers than they are with negative numbers. So I generally start at 0, which even if it's in the middle, work up, and then once I've done it, I then go back and fill out the others. Okay, and by the time you then are filling out the others, you might have noticed a pattern which can help you just double check and feel really confident that you're doing the right thing. So first of all, I'm going to put 0 in for my x value. So x is going to be 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace x with 0. Okay, so I'm going to take that x out and I'm going to put a 0 instead. You will not end up with 30. We're not replacing it in that sense. When we have 3 next to an x, that means 3 times x, so it's 3 times 0. So what I like to do when I replace, I put little brackets around it to remind me that it's timesing. So we've got y equals 3 times 0 plus 5. And then you just have to work it out. So 3 times 0 is 0 plus 5, which is 5. So when x is 0, y is 5. Next one, I'm going to put x as 1 in. So x equals 1, y equals 3 lots of 1 plus 5. 3 lots of 1 is 3, plus 5 is 8. When x is 2 now, y is 3 lots of 2 plus 5. 6 plus 5 is 11. And then when x is 3, y is 3 lots of 3 plus 5. 9 plus 5, which is 14. Okay? So we've got our first few points sorted. Right, now we move on and we do the minuses. And I'm going to start with -1, and I'm then going to work down and look at the other ones as well. So when x is -1, it works exactly the same way. 3 lots of -1 plus 5. Well, 3 times -1 is -3 plus 5. For this, you might want to imagine temperature. Imagine it's -3 degrees out, and then the temperature goes up by 5. So it goes up past 0 and then a bit further, and we end up with 2. But if you're not confident working with negative numbers, you might want to look over that a little bit before keeping on going with this, because you will need negative numbers to do this. Okay. I'm going to do the next two without writing anything down because I've run out of space, but it's completely fine to keep writing your method as you do this. 3 lots of -2 is -6. -6 plus 5 is -1. Okay, and 3 times -3 is -9, plus 5 is -4. Before we move on, it's a really good idea to check whether you can see any patterns, because they can help you be really confident that you're on the right track. So looking at this, I notice it's always going up in 3s. And that's a pattern that you should find with all straight line graphs. You should find that if you go up 1 on the x value, you should go up another number on the y. And in fact, that number is this number here. So that's just an extra little bit of reassurance you can have that you're on the right track. So now that we've made the table, we're all ready to get some coordinates out to plot our graph. All you need to do is read your x and your y values off together as coordinates. So for this, we've got -3, -4. We've got -2, -1, -1, 2, 0, 5, 1, 8, and so on. And you can then just pop those carefully on your line, on your graph, and join them up, and you should end up with a nice straight line. Okay. Pause the video now and see if you can have a go at coming up with a correct table of values for y equals 2x plus 1. Once you've had a think about it, play the video and I will go through how to do it step by step. Okay, so here are the answers for y equals 2x plus 1. Oops, sorry. I'm going to start off with 0 because that's easiest, and then work up and then do the hardest ones at the end. So I've got y equals 2x plus 1, starting when x is 0. So y is going to be 2 lots of 0 plus 1. 2 zeros is 0, plus 1 is 1. For when x equals 1, y equals 2 lots of 1 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. When x equals to 2, y equals 2 lots of 2 plus 1, that comes out as 5. 2 lots of 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Now let's do some of the negatives. So when x is minus 1, y is 2 lots of minus 1 plus 1. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2, plus 1 is minus 1, because we're going up the number line when we add. So when x is minus 2, y is 2 lots of minus 2 plus 1, minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. And then the final one, minus 3 times 2 is minus 6, plus 1 is minus 5. We can be really confident that we're right, because if you look at what's happening, every single time we go up by 2. And that is this number here we've got in front of the x. Okay, so that's how to complete a simple table of values for a straight line graph.